Are you guilty of using password 123 exclamation point to secure your AWS account? Well, it's time you stop doing that. In this video, I'm going to show you firsthand how to set up a complex password policy at the AWS account level so you don't have IAM users logging in with password 123. Let's go. Okay, so before we jump into the management console, let's talk a little bit about the documentation. So you can set a custom password policy on the AWS account level. This allows you to specify complex requirements and mandatory rotation periods of those passwords for your IAM users. If you don't set a custom password policy, those IAM user passwords will meet a default AWS password policy, and I'll show you what that policy is here in the management console once we jump over. One thing I want to note is the IAM password policy does not apply to the AWS root account password or IAM user keys. So if a password expires, that IAM user still, they can't log into the management console, but they can continue to use those access keys, which is why you want to rotate those access keys. I'll be doing another YouTube video on that in the near future. So when you create or change a password policy, most of the password policy settings are enforced the next time your user needs to change their password. However, some of those settings are enforced immediately. Let me give you examples of those couple different scenarios. For example, the minimum length and character type requirements change in your password policy. These settings are enforced the next time your user has to change their password. Users aren't forced to change the existing password, even if that existing password doesn't adhere to the minimum length in the password if that has changed. Now check this out. If you set your password policy to expire within a certain period of time, let's say you set your passwords to expire in 90 days, for those IAM users who have passwords that are beyond 90 days, those users will be required to change their password the next time that they sign in. So let's go ahead and jump over into the AWS Management Console right now. Okay, we are in the AWS Management Console. And what we need to do is go to IAM, that's Identity and Access Management Service. If you don't see it under your recently used services, very easy way to search for it is to go to the search bar and type IAM, and it pops up there at the top. Nice handy feature. And here we are. We are in the IAM dashboard. You want to navigate over to Account Settings. Over in the left-hand pane, click on Account Settings. And the password policy is right here at the top. It says a password policy is a set of rules that defines a type of IAM password your users can set. Now, currently on this demo account, there is no custom password policy set. We're about to change that here in the next couple of minutes. Right now is the AWS default password policy that the documentation mentions earlier, which includes minimum password length of 8 characters, includes a minimum of 3 of the following mix of characters: uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and a combination of symbols. And the third default password policy here is must not be identical to your AWS account name or email address. Now, to go in here and change the password policy and make it even more complex, all you have to do is, you guessed it, hit Change Password Policy. Who thought, right? Now, this brings in the password policy here. I'll zoom in so you can take a closer look. Cool. So right now we have the the default password policy that I mentioned earlier. Let's say we want to get super crazy with this. And in addition to all those default things, we just want to get crazy with it and just add everything. So you enjoy security and potentially also terrorizing your end users that need to log into this to manage your AWS environments. We're just, for the purposes of this demo, going to select everything across the board. So let's review what we have here. Require at least one uppercase letter, A through Z. Require at least one lowercase letter, A through Z. Require at least one number. Require at least one non-alphanumeric character, which includes these crazy symbols here. We're going to enable a password expiration date of 90 days. You know what? Let's make it even more stringent. Let's make our users change their password every 30 days. We're going to say password expiration requires administrator reset. Okay. Allow users to change their own password. All right. And then the last item is prevent password reuse. Right now it says 5 passwords. You know what? Why don't we just make that you can't use any flavor of the last 8 passwords. Okay, so we'll do that. And after we've done that, we will go down to save changes. And it's as simple as that. Now the password policy has been updated as this green check mark and green banner indicates. And that new password policy is as follows. It is minimum of password length of 8 characters, just everything that we selected in that last series of checkboxes. And this takes effect right now, as I mentioned earlier. So that's it, folks. It's that easy to change your password policy and to make it more complicated and to stop your end users from using password 123. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe to the Thoughtful Techie Cloud channel. This channel is completely dedicated to teaching you AWS and AWS well-architected best practices such as security, cost optimization, operational excellence, reliability, performance, and sustainability. So go ahead and give me a subscription here to the channel. Like, comment, and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.